I'm Nick.
And I'm Justin. We are the Epic Film Guys, and we'd like just a moment of your time to talk about an extremely important event coming up this May.
Last year, we hosted the live stream for The Cure, a 12-hour live stream fundraiser where we raised $2,500 for the Cancer Research Institute.
86 cents out of every dollar raised goes to research toward finding a cure.
And this year, we're aiming to smash that goal, and we need your help to do it.
Join us from May 18th through the 20th for 30 hours of amazing live stream content from us and a whole host of amazing podcasters who will be joining us to try to reach $5,000.
For more information, please visit www.livestreamforthecure.com. Together, we can make a difference.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
My goal next year will be to see 100 movies in the theaters.
The MoviePass Pod is not affiliated or sponsored by MoviePass in any way. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the MoviePass Pod, the unofficial podcast of MoviePass. We're a father and son team on a journey to try and watch 100 movies in theaters with the help of MoviePass in 2018. I'm the father on said father and son team, and my name is Keith.
I'm the son, and I'm Noah.
Yeah, we're laughing because we're having nonstop audio issues.
And just general podcast issues.
And
this is about our 4th time trying to record this now.
Yep. For those that have been listening, for one, thank you, are the 3 people out there. One of them is including my brother, Noah's uncle. That's one of the 3. But you'll know that we have audio issues from day one, and it's not letting up.
Yep.
For those that listened to episode 8, the Tomb Raider Pacific Rim issue, you noticed the audio was really soft. What we didn't know was that one of the mics wasn't recording.
Yep, we were only recording to one microphone. Yep. And we thought, wow, there's no echo on this. Yeah. The software must be really good. Turns out we were only using one microphone the whole time.
Oh, man. That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an ongoing issue. You know, we're trying to get it corrected, but whatever. I don't know. Next time we're going to try and record by Skype, or you said about this company called Discord.
Mm-hmm.
You said they're like a better Skype.
Yeah, the audio quality is a lot better, so it's easier for us to understand each other, so it's not so crackly and whatever.
Yeah.
And hopefully the audio quality will get better. This
week we have definitely a shorter episode. Last week we hadn't recorded in 3 weeks, so we had a bunch of news. This week we don't have any MoviePass advice or fact of the show. We have a few stuff we saw, and then we're just going to get right into... Oh, then we have one bit of MoviePass news, and then we'll get right into our review of Ready Player One, the big movie of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether you were looking forward to this movie, or whether you were not looking forward to it, whether you like sci-fi, whether you love the book, don't like the book, haven't read the book, I think this is definitely one of the big conversation starter movies of the year.
Yeah, I'd agree. I've heard friends in my community that don't give a crap about 80s pop culture or video games, and they said that they were going to see this movie, so I think it's something that can be for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of... We'll get into it more detail, but I was surprised because I didn't think this movie, completely hit you over the head with 80s nostalgia. I thought it was there. It was present.
Yeah, no, it's nowhere near as present in the book.
You mean it's way more present in the book?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The book is every page there's a 80s mention.
Yeah.
But it's not... That's what you meant, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. In the book, it's full on 80s, but in this, you're right. It's a mix.
It's there, but it's not... It doesn't beat you over the head with it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like I said, we don't have any MoviePass advice or fact of the show. So, do you have anything else before we start the show?
No, I think that's about it.
All right. So we're gonna start off with a few stuff we saw, and you don't have anything this week, right?
I don't think so. I'll let you get into it, and if I remember something, then I'll just tag it on. But as I didn't see anything in the theater, that's for sure.
Okay. I saw 2 movies in the theater outside of Ready Player One. I'll begin with the movie I just watched, A Wrinkle in Time. I was not looking forward to this movie. The trailers look terrible. Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of bad things, but I just kind of want to get it out of the way for towards the 100. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. I've heard very bad things about this. I heard somebody say it was the worst movie they've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. I would not go that far. Now, this is not a great movie. There are some decent stuff in it. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but just a brief overview of what the movie's about. Chris Pine is a father who figures out that you can travel through time, space, and the universe, dimensions, whatever, using only your mind.
Uh-huh.
So he gets lost somewhere, and his daughter and a team of other people try and find him. Now, the best part of the movie is the daughter. I've never seen this actress before. Her name is Stormy Reed, I believe. But she was quite charming. Storm Reed. Okay. Oh, she was in 12 Years a Slave. I don't remember seeing her in that, but yeah, she, like I said, she's very charming. She's definitely a good actress. It's good to see good child actors because they're rare. Yeah. Apparently she's 14 right now, so she was probably 13 or so when they filmed this. And, every once in a while we do see good child actors. The kids from It, the kids from Stranger Things. Yeah.
Daphne Keane and Logan.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So they are out there, and I'll be interested to see where her career goes. But there's some terrible stuff in this movie, too. Reese Witherspoon turns into like a cabbage lettuce lady, just out of nowhere.
Interesting.
And, yeah. And I'll tell you my biggest problem with the movie. It needed some laughs desperately.
Really?
Yes.
Too serious?
It's almost like a heavy drama. And I've never read the book. Have you read the book?
No, I didn't even know there was a book.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a modern classic.
Huh.
But I'll tell you this. There was one joke where I laughed out loud. It was, for those that are Family Guy fans, the main character's name is Meg, right? Uh-huh. And someone says it just like in Family Guy. Shut up, Meg. I was the only one in the theater that got that joke, apparently, because I was the only one that laughed.
Wow. It
was a female-heavy audience.
Yeah,
it was almost a sellout. And there were kids.
Yeah.
But I heard people like rustling, I guess. I mean, oh no, what's the word? Restless, not rustling.
Oh, yeah.
But people were restless because it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put all the blame on Ava DuVernay. She seems like one of the best up-and-coming directors out there, but the source material, I think it's just too hard to cram into one little movie.
Yeah.
Because it's really complex. I mean, think about what I told you. Chris Pine.
Cabbage Lady?
Not just Cabbage Lady, but... And Reese Witherspoon is an Oscar-winning actress.
Yeah.
And some of the special effects are not great. There's a lot of green screen, clearly green screen in this.
Yeah, that can cripple a movie.
Yeah, so I gave it 2.5 stars. Just below a not recommend for me. If you really want to watch it, you can use your MoviePass because it's almost free, or just wait for it to come out. But I have no interest in ever watching this movie again.
Yeah.
But I didn't actively hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. I also saw Unsane, one of the worst titled movies of all time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to watch this because it was a Steven Spielberg directed movie, and he directed the entire thing on an iPhone 7. So that kind of interested me.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, so he used different filters, which was kind of interesting. The screen was smaller than a normal film. You could notice it.
Yeah. A
lot of it was shot, it almost looked like a documentary. It wasn't shot documentary style. But
well, I see what you mean, like the camera quality.
Yeah. And I actively hated the first half of this movie.
Wow.
I turned to my wife and I said, "Do you want to leave?"
Wow.
It was really bad. And no, but she was kind of into it, so we stayed. It's just that I hate these types of movies where horrible things keeps happening to the main character. Nobody believes her. I'm talking really, really horrible things. Not like, tripping or something
Yeah.
really terrible. And I hate movies like that. So, but the second half is a little bit more compelling. I ended up giving this 2.5 stars too. Thinking about it, I might downgrade it to 2. I was ready to give it a 0.5 star. It was so bad at the beginning. I mean,
wow.
And I like that main actress, Claire Foy. She's excellent in the Netflix series The Crown. I don't know if she won an Emmy or a Golden Globe for that or something, and Jay Farrow's in it. I really like his comedy. I actually saw him in a comedy show a few years ago. He's really funny. He's not funny in this movie, but it's just, do you remember, I think it was one of our first episodes, we talked about classifying genres, right? According to IMDb, Unsane is horror thriller. I don't know what's horror about this movie. I mean, I just don't get why they classify movies like that as horror. I mean,
I'm not sure how I can talk about it because I've only seen the trailer, and from the trailer, it seems like it seems like one of those movies where it's like, oh, something's hiding in the closet. Find out this May or something like.
That's not it.
It's not like that at all.
No, there are some. I would say it's more creepy than thrilling. So
okay.
I just, we talked about this with Get Out too. I don't think of Get Out as a horror movie at all.
No.
Right?
No.
And there's other, I don't know. When I think of horror, I think of slasher, like Jason and Freddy and Chucky.
Well, what about, like Stephen King?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
that's horror, because that's in the most, like, literal sense.
Yeah.
Like, Stephen King is a horror writer.
I guess. That's a good point. I never really thought about that before.
I think that's just where it stems from. Like, the definition of horror doesn't necessarily mean, like, slashing somebody's guts out. There's a difference between the film definition of horror and the literary definition. Like, it might just be something that's unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's actually a video on YouTube of Stephen King describing what horror is or something like that. I'm not sure.
I suppose that's true. I mean, when I think of, like, It or Pet Sematary, those are horror.
Okay, so this movie isn't nearly like It or Pet Sematary or anything like that?
You mean on a scary level? Or just on a supernatural level?
I guess both.
I don't know.
I guess I'd have to watch it because I'm in the dark here.
Yeah, it's just a tough call. I don't want to give any spoilers away because it seems like a thriller to me. It doesn't have supernatural aspects.
Okay.
I hope that's not a spoiler. Maybe you thought that it did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I think even if it doesn't have supernatural aspects, it can still be horror. I was going to say, like, Friday the 13th, I mean, technically Jason is some sort of weird supernatural being, but it looks like it's just a guy walking slowly towards you, and that's pretty scary,
Yeah, but
the idea of that.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have just said Freddy and Jason. Those are supernatural stuff, but like Scream, there's no supernatural aspect to that. It's just a slasher film.
That makes sense.
But I definitely consider that horror.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, obviously, I'm in the minority because IMDb classified this movie as horror first, then thriller. But I don't know. I guess I just have it. I mean, the Stephen King analogy is good because if you look at, I'm trying to think of like Misery, right?
Yeah.
Misery is, I guess that's horror, but as far as like the supernatural aspect, there isn't any. And it's definitely a thriller. Without
going into spoilers, equate this movie to something like Gone Girl. Because this is what, from the trailer, this is what it seems to me. Like it's this relationship between two people that's unsettling. You see what I mean? And
yeah.
Gone Girl isn't horror.
Right.
Is what I'm getting at. So, do you think it's more like Gone Girl than it is like something like Stephen King?
It's definitely more thrilling than Gone Girl.
Okay.
There is some creepy, thrilling parts in the second half.
Yeah.
So on that level, it's not. It's much more thrilling than that.
Okay.
And I don't mean it's really thrilling, but just on a thriller level. Okay. Maybe I'll cut in some Thriller Michael Jackson there. But I don't want to say anything much about that. I gave that movie 2.5 stars. If you're interested in the iPhone 7 experience, go ahead and see it. Oh, I'm not going to give it away, but there's a huge cameo in it, which came out of nowhere, which I thought was great.
Okay.
And I'll give you a clue. If you know Soderbergh and you know someone who does cameos a lot, then you'll be able to figure it out.
Okay.
But I'm not going to give it away. So, did you think of any stuff we saw, or you just want to move on?
No, I don't think I watched anything else.
All right, let's get to...
Coming up next.
Welcome to Eyewitness News at 6.
¿Cómo están, bitches? Spanish language news is here.
They knew, and they let it happen. Be on television?
Morning news. If it bleeds, it leads.
Good night, and good luck.
We only have one bit of MoviePass news this week. Apparently, MoviePass signed a deal with Mark Cuban of Shark Tank and Billionaire Status and the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Landmark Theaters. He operates 53 theaters, and they specialize in independent films. It doesn't say what the deal was exactly, but it says that they signed a deal, and so obviously they're going to be giving them a cut on the price or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't say what the deal is, but Landmark Theater operates 255 screens in 27 markets, including Florida, Illinois, Los Angeles, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Texas, and Wisconsin. I wonder if we have any around here. I know there's a few independent theaters in New Hampshire, but I don't know who own them. There's one in Concord, Portsmouth. So I'll have to maybe check that. Mark Cuban may have his paws all over New Hampshire. Or not all over, but a little bit. That's the only news we have. That was pretty brief. But because we had a bunch of news last week, so there hasn't been much that dropped. I guess Mitch Lowe has been keeping quiet.
Ever since that fiasco.
Yeah.
Before we move on, now you say Mark Cuban's theaters specialize in independent films. Do you think that this is like a market that's really important to MoviePass? Because when I hear about this, I think that a lot of these independent films, I mean, they do, kind of terrible at the box office sometimes, it really depends. Like if it's a breakout one like Get Out, that kills it. But I mean, a lot of these independent films struggle to make bank, for lack of a better term. But, with MoviePass, I'd go see an independent film, even if it didn't look that great. But with how MoviePass, I don't know if I would spend that. What do you think about this? Do you think that these independent production companies are looking at something like MoviePass and saying, hey, maybe there's a business here?
Oh, I definitely think that's true. Yeah, I mean, because not only, people that... There are several reasons. I agree with that. One, people that go to independent films usually... I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole somebody here, but they probably love going to the movies more than other people,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So they're more likely to get MoviePass because they're going to go to the movies more.
Yeah.
Like, for example, just today, I would not have seen A Wrinkle in Time in theaters if it wasn't MoviePass. And I know that's not a low budget film. That's a very big budget film. But just as an example, And there's another MoviePass podcast out there. There's actually several. The MoviePass Challenge, which today is their last day, I guess. I think they're going to do it. They're going to watch 31 movies in 31 days, so congrats to them. But there's another one called, like, MoviePass Movie Challenge, or not challenge, but those guys, what they do is they watch movies that they would never watch without MoviePass.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're speaking to. Again, it's not just independent films, but, they see big budget movies too. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it's gonna, look at this Landmark Theaters. They signed a deal with MoviePass because they know that it's gonna help them.
Yeah.
So.
That's definitely a sign of that.
Yeah. All the small theaters around me, except MoviePass.
Mm-hmm.
There was one on my way home from work that didn't, but they just signed on. I noticed it in the app recently. So they signed on. They're a really small local theater. I think they only have 2 locations. But
yeah.
Then there's another one in the next town over. They're really small. They have 3 locations. They're both on board. So yeah, it's in their best interest to make these deals because people are going to buy more concessions. So even if they lower the ticket price for MoviePass, they're going to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've mentioned it before too that theaters make way more money on concessions than they do on tickets. That's obvious.
Yeah.
You pay $8 for a popcorn that costs them $0.25 to make versus, you pay $13 for a movie ticket.
That they get like $1 from.
Yeah. Opening weekend, sometimes they have to pay the theater 90% of that ticket. So, But yeah, excellent point. Before we get into our review, let's have a word from one of our favorite podcasts.
Rising from the depths of a state called Michigan, two inebriated dorks prepare their plan for intergalactic domination. Mixing their extensive knowledge of geek culture with their insatiable thirst for alcohol, these two man-children bring you a show like you've never heard before. They will tell you tales from faraway lands and have you questioning their taste in beer. But make no mistake, friend, for the best coverage of your favorite comics, films, and TV shows, there's no better source for you to get your fix. So listen up, strap in, and prepare yourself as Jake and Tom conquer the world.
All right, thanks, guys. Be sure to check them out. And let's get to the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
This week, we're going to be talking about the big movie of the weekend, the huge movie of the weekend, Ready Player One.
A whole virtual universe. You can do anything, be anyone, without going anywhere at all. The Oasis was created by James Halliday, and what he left behind changed everything. A contest. 3 impossible challenges. The first to finish gets complete control of the Oasis, which means complete control of the future.
Contest has got to be about connecting with someone, connecting with the world. So we take it together?
Sure.
That was from the trailer of Ready Player One. Well, let's just dive into it. This is going to be no spoilers at first, and then we will have a spoiler section later, but no way. Both you and I are big fans of that book.
Yeah, I loved it. When I first picked it up, I could not put it down. I took a rare trip to the library, which is a strange sentence that I never thought I'd ever say in my life.
Yeah.
But over the summer, I had a lot of time, so I went to the library, and I had heard that you read that book, and a lot of people liked it, so I picked it up, and I was like, oh, this seems interesting, and I was hooked within the first few pages, and I literally finished it that night. So, yeah, I definitely love the book.
Yeah, so do I. Not only great for 80s nostalgia, but it's just a really interesting story, just in general, you know?
Yeah, it's such a unique and fun adventure.
Yeah. And did you read his second book? It wasn't as popular.
Yeah, I got about like halfway in.
I
couldn't finish it.
Enjoyed it. It's definitely not as good as the first one, but I hear he might be writing a sequel, so I would definitely be interested in that. Not to Armada, but to
Ready Player One?
Yeah. Armada is probably dead.
Yeah.
I would think. Because that wasn't...
I mean, I didn't dislike it, but, you know.
It wasn't well received critically. Audience didn't love it. But Ready Player One, what are your thoughts on the film?
Well, when it originally came out that Steven Spielberg was making a film adaptation, I was definitely excited.
I first heard that he was attached like 2 years ago. Maybe even more than that. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then he wasn't on it, and then he was back. So I'm just really glad we ended up with him. I'll just say that right off the bat.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I didn't hear it was with Spielberg. I just heard they were making a film adaptation.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was originally rumored
to be working on it?
Yeah.
Okay,
You know, it's just... A lot of projects do this. He's on, he's off, he's on, he's off. Yeah, just ultimately, I'm glad that he stuck with it.
Yeah, definitely. And so, yeah, when I heard that news, I was looking forward to it. But then when I saw the first trailer, I was like, oh, God, what are they doing?
Yeah, I didn't watch the second trailer yet, but...
It's better. It's better than the first one, but it still made me a little nervous.
The first trailer was pretty bad. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And, well, when I saw it, I don't know if this is spoilers, but it's really not like the book. Do you think that's okay to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Anyways.
It strays completely off.
Yep. Oh, I definitely agree with that, too. It's almost like... Because Ernest Cline is a credited writer.
Yeah, he's one of the screenwriters for this adaptation.
Yep. And I feel like maybe he had other ideas, that he wanted to bring to the book, and he just didn't have a chance to. So he's like, let's just do everything that we're going to do.
See, I feel the opposite. I feel like he wanted to be a part of the film adaptation, and the studio said, look, we got to make this we have to make this marketable to a film audience, and he said, all right, here's this. I feel like I kind of disagree with you. I don't think he had other ideas for the book. I think he was just trying to make it actually appeal to the theaters.
Okay.
That's just what I think.
So you think that the studio had more input than normal?
Yeah, I think it's a balance. I think there's a balance.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad that he actually got to co-write the screenplay, because usually in these film adaptations, the author doesn't always get a lot of say. But it looks like Ernest Cline did have a big hand in this, which I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
That being said, oh man, I don't know. I'm on the fence about this. I'll tell you one thing. As someone who loved the book and read the book, I don't know. I mean, if this was just a standalone film and I had never read the book, I think I would have loved this movie. Yeah. But going in with the knowledge that I had previously, I was a little bit on the fence. Okay. I mean, it's still a fun movie. I still had fun,
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than you. I had a smile on my face almost this entire movie. I found it very fun, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that there is some exposition. We did talk about that while we were watching it, but I didn't think that was so bad, and I didn't think that the relationshipy stuff was too much either.
I disagree with that. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that might be true.
Yeah. I mean, it's to each his own.
Yeah.
Like if it didn't bother you, it's fine.
Have you seen Ernest Cline's other movie that he wrote, Fanboys?
No.
Do you know what that's about? That was like his dream movie.
No.
It's about a kid who's dying,
mm-hmm.
and he wants to see Phantom Menace before he dies. So him and his friends break into Skywalker Ranch and watch it. So,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a grown-up fanboy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this is a spoiler to say that the main car in the movie is the DeLorean.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
And he owns the DeLorean from the movie. Did you know that?
The actual original. Yeah. Wow.
He bought one of them. Yeah. And he is seen, like, I guess, around LA driving it around.
Wow.
So yeah, he's just whatever. I don't know how old he is, but a 40 or something fanboy.
Yeah. Which, if you've read the book, you definitely know.
Yeah.
Because there's a reference every page, basically.
Yes, there is.
Without going into the spoilers, I liked that when I was reading the book. I thought it was kind of cool to have all that trivia and knowledge, because you grew up in the 80s, but I didn't. So to hear someone be so excited about all that was cool. But in the movie, there's really not that much of that.
Yeah, but I think I was fine with that, because although I was expecting it to beat us over the head with 80s nostalgia. But, I mean, we'll get into some details and spoilers, but I didn't think that it was over the top. And I thought that it was, the way that they did do it was, like, really cool. I don't know if that was just me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The way that they showed you the 80s nostalgia was cool. But I think my expectation was they were going to beat me over the head with it, which I know a lot of people hate, but I would have been fine. But even
so, you wanted more then?
Yeah,
okay.
I wanted more.
Did you think the movie was too long? Because it's a long movie.
I actually didn't.
Okay, I didn't either. I honestly thought it flew by.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was watching Wrinkle in Time, I was checking my phone, every other minute. But I don't know. I just thought the movie was just honestly so fun, and I thought that the special effects were right. It seemed like that's...
The special effects were actually really good.
It seems like that's what it would look like.
Yeah.
You know, if
in the Oasis.
Yeah, if the Oasis was real.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with that.
I completely agree.
Because I was a little bit worried about the special effects.
Because you think it's going to be like a 3D animated film, but really it wasn't bad.
Yeah. You'd probably have to watch this, going back to the 80s nostalgia. You'd have to watch this movie like 1,000 times.
To catch everything.
Yeah, and even then you probably wouldn't catch everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll do it for the non-spoiler section of Ready Player One. So... Oh, you know what? I'm just going to say one of those.
Oh, we should probably say if you should see it or not, too.
Okay. We said this earlier in the podcast, in the show, but I just want to say again, like, I'm really glad that Spielberg directed this movie because it worked so well for me, and I have a feeling like other directors wouldn't be able to handle something like this, and they would have just completely shredded it, but he... You know, I haven't seen him direct anything like this in years, you know?
Or ever. Honestly.
Well, but I mean, like... Just like this really fun adventure. You know, like, I'm not comparing this to Jurassic Park. Don't, send me hate mail. But...
I don't know, I feel like this was a little bit more fun than Jurassic Park.
Well, I'm just talking on, like, an adventure level.
Okay, sure.
You know?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, what else has he done lately that's something of this caliber?
Yeah, I mean, look at his most recent movies. The BFG, Bridge of Spies.
The Post.
Yeah, Lincoln, War Horse... I mean, those are like heavy dramas there. I mean, except for the BFG, but the BFG wasn't that well received. Yeah. And even like The Adventures of Tintin, which I kind of liked, but it's not like the greatest movie. So you got to go back to, I mean, like, I don't know, Indiana Jones?
Crystal
I guess.
Skull was 2008, but...
That's like Voldemort. The movie that shall not be named.
Have you seen Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah. Oh,
that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
that was 2002.
Yeah. So he has done these in the past, but it's just been a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Could this be Spielberg's comeback from mediocrity?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, like, I liked Lincoln and Bridge of Spies a lot. Those aren't like really fun movies.
They're not fun adventures.
Man, can you believe in 1993 he directed Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in the same year? That has got to be like the greatest directorial year of all time. And the other thing is,
he also was producing Animaniacs at the same time, too, I heard.
All right, back to our regularly scheduled podcast. I think that'll do it for non-spoilers, right? You got anything else?
Should people go see it? What do you think?
I definitely recommend it, yeah.
Yeah,
but
me too.
This is, the movie isn't for everybody, though, I think.
No.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of this on my drive home, like what kind of audience this is for. Oh, I have another thing too. Damn it. Anyways, but yeah.
Here, I know what you're talking about, and I'm gonna sound pretentious and I don't care, but I know what kind of audience this is for. This is the kind of audience that they go to see a movie. I don't know. I'm sounding like some artistic dirtbag, but you know what I mean? Because there was a guy next to us that every time something cool would happen, he would say out loud, "Oh, that was awesome." Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the Peter Griffin type. Yeah, that's what this movie's for. You know?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because although I had a lot of fun with it, like I said, a big smile on my face the whole movie. I'm not sure everyone would love this movie. I don't want to say it's niche. But,
I don't even think it is. I think anyone can enjoy this.
Yeah, you might be right, yeah. I mean, I did say as we were walking out that was a crowd pleaser, so maybe I'm contradicting myself here. Yeah. I don't know.
I see what you mean, though. It's very video game oriented.
Yeah,
like
I mean...
If you're the type of person that doesn't play video games, it might not connect with you.
This is the greatest video game movie ever made.
Yeah.
And it's not based on a video game.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's not saying much. But it is, I mean...
Video game movies suck.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit more in spoilers about this, but there was a kid sitting next to us.
Oh my God.
He was awesome. He was standing up and cheering and yelling at the screen. And then there was a scary part and he was covering his eyes. Yeah. That kid was awesome.
He was super loud.
He was so into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind when not even kids, but when people are into movies, though. You know, so he didn't bother me.
It depends on the movie, I think. Like with this movie, every time a character would say a cool line, he would literally repeat it 2 seconds later.
Maybe he bothered you more than... Because he was sitting right next to you.
Yeah, he was sitting right next to me, so it bothered me more.
On that note, too, I don't think we'll ever get to the non-spoiler section, but I will say that in Wrinkle in Time, there was I think a mother and daughter duo sitting next to me. Older, one was maybe in college and the other one was 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the movie, they kept talking. Stop. Stop. You're not on your couch at home. I don't need to hear your commentary.
Yeah.
And you know what I really hate too? Oh my God. I hate it when people are talking during a movie and then the movie gets louder, so they raise their voice to match.
That's terrible.
Stop.
That's terrible.
And they did that. Now, to their credit, they did quiet down, and it was only like the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So then they finally were like, stop. They didn't talk after that, or they talked very rarely.
Well, that's how I felt with the kid sitting next to us, because he talked during the trailers, and I was like, oh no. What am I in for? But he was actually really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely go see this movie. Even if you're not into video games, definitely see it. If you liked the book, you might be disappointed, but I think you can still have fun.
On that note, also, but I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. Letterboxd.com/KeithNH72 or NoJoeSwag. But I read someone's review and they said that it was a true adaptation to the book.
God, no. What's wrong with you?
I don't think that they actually read the book, if they said that.
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think there's a 5% chance that you'll be disappointed. If you're really, really into the book like I am, even I had fun with it.
How many stars are you going to give it?
I gave it 3.5.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gave it 3.5, I gave it 4, so obviously we recommend it. We both enjoyed it.
Yeah. Go see it.
I mean, and again, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and neither of us felt like it was long. That's quite a feat.
Yeah,
for an action movie. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into one big problem I had with that in a minute. But let's finally move on and get the spoilers starting now.
Tell me 5 things about yourself. 4 of them true.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
But wait till you hear my secret now. I see dead people.
I want to get right into the ending because the ending was so rushed.
I was so disappointed about that.
Yeah, because the ending of the book is so good.
Yeah, it's really dragged out, and it's a perfect ending.
Yeah, ending of the movie is really... I don't want to say it's bad, but
I'll go that far.
It's bad. It's bad. Because, like we said, they had to cut this down. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes. So the ending is the one that got hurt the most.
They should have just added 10 more minutes. What's 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes, I really don't think it would have hurt.
I think it would have been better if they maybe cut some stuff out.
Cut other stuff rather than the ending?
No, or just added 10 minutes to the ending and cut 10 minutes out somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. It was really a shame.
It really was.
Because I thought the movie was so good, and then the ending was just...
I felt the same way when I was walking out. I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Because the ending in the book is perfect. I won't spoil it if you haven't read the book, but the last sentence is perfect, and you're blown away. But in this, it just feels lackluster.
Yeah, so, we're getting right into spoilers. Parsifal wins. Big shock.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he gets the egg, a literal egg, which is okay. It's an Easter egg.
Yep.
I didn't even know that Simon Pegg was in this movie.
I didn't either. He wasn't in the trailers, I don't think.
He was right in the first scene. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And he actually does a pretty good American accent.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I'm not sure I've ever seen him do an American accent.
No, I haven't.
Oh, another thing about Unsane. Claire Foy needs to work on her American accent.
Ooh.
It was bad. And I'm going to say, the reason I'm saying that is because she's in Damien Chazelle's next movie, First Man. It's a biopic about Neil Armstrong. She's playing Neil Armstrong's wife in the movie. And I've loved Damien Chazelle's, what he's done so far. So she better not ruin that movie. Claire Foy, if you're listening, you better work. My wife, who was a Korean, even one of the first things she said to me was, That was a bad American accent.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, sorry. Back to, that was a little tangent there. But the Simon Pegg, because I wasn't really impressed with his American accent.
Yeah, me too.
I can't remember. I don't think he's ever done one that I've seen. He probably has, but...
Yeah, maybe
you know,
a long time ago,
the
but
Shaun
I've
of the
never
Dead
seen it.
trilogies, the Star Trek. Does he do an American accent in Mission Impossible?
No.
Okay,
He's
so no.
British, I think.
Yeah. A little bit more stuff about the kid sitting next to us. There was a great scene in The Shining.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that whole...
I know what you're saying. Sequence?
Yeah, sequence is good. So there's a whole sequence where they figure out that the second key to win the prize is in the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
So they go into the Overlook Hotel, and I'm surprised that they did all this stuff. It would have been, I mean, they did the river blood scene, the twins, the zombie woman in the tub. Those are all iconic scenes in that movie. But the kid next to us was covering his eyes during most of it.
Scary.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of it was kind of scary for a kid, I thought.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing is, that's actually in the book too, where characters can go in movies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen until way later. And the way they go about it is the character has to quote every line from the movie.
Okay.
And I thought there's no way they're going to have that in this film, because that would be... How would you even do that? It's boring. But I'm glad they at least they did that. They took that aspect and put it in the movie. Like where you can go into the VHS tapes and play along.
Yeah, I haven't read the book in several years. In fact, I think I turned to you during The Shining and said, was this in the book?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because I didn't think it was, but I didn't remember. So after watching the movie, I definitely want to reread the book. So I'm going to go back to it.
Yeah, you should. In fact, I'm probably going to as well.
Yeah. There's, what else we got? I mean, did you notice on H's wall the poster from Back to the Future? That was awesome. I didn't. It was the guy for mayor. Remember? He's running for mayor. Do you remember?
The janitor at the diner.
Yeah.
The black guy who says, "I'm gonna be mayor," and I did notice that, but I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was cool.
Oh, I know. That was one of the best Easter eggs that I noticed.
Yeah.
Because it's totally in the background. You know, they don't talk about it. They don't point to it or anything. Mm-hmm. So, and there was like we said, there's like 1,000 of those in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are just blatant, like Chucky, which was awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
and that was their only F-bomb in the movie.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was the guy playing the game.
Yeah,
Adventure. Was that in the book too? No, wasn't it Joust?
Well, they play Adventure, but they also play Joust.
Okay.
There's a lot more video game playing in the book.
Yeah. Did you notice there was a Joust poster on the wall?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I figured there'd be a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because the first key in the book is actually Joust.
Okay.
You play Joust, and then later on you play Adventure. Yeah.
Okay. In the ending scene, well, not the very end, but Mark Rylance's bedroom, there's a poster of Joust on the wall.
Oh, okay.
There was posters all over the wall, but it was hard to notice.
I'm looking forward to watching this again.
What did you think about Mark Rylance's performance? He plays...
Who did he play? Halliday?
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah. He's an Oscar winner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He won for Bridge of Spies. He's worked with Spielberg a lot now. He played the BFG.
Oh, yeah.
He actually played the BFG. Cool. He was in Dunkirk. He was in Bridge of Spies. That's how he won the Oscar. And now this is his third collaboration with Spielberg. Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah.
I thought he was perfect. He nailed that like awkward man-child nerd.
Yeah, and
his comedic timing was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like people were laughing at almost everything he said.
Yeah, right. And he's not a comedic actor.
Yeah.
Maybe he's funny in the BFG. I don't know. I haven't watched it, but his wardrobe and his hairstyle are very 80s.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like in the future. So I'm guessing they...
Well, do you not remember from the book?
No, I don't.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was going to mention this, and in the book, everything is 80s. Because the Halliday contest emerges.
Yeah.
And everyone is researching James Halliday's life.
But the book's in the future, too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like, here's the thing. When the Halliday challenge comes about, everybody gets immersed in 80s culture. I don't know if you noticed that, but a lot of people were wearing 80s clothing.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Like 80s culture was being reestablished.
Okay.
And this is why you probably didn't notice it, is because it's more prevalent in the book. They talk about this, how everyone's obsessed with the 80s.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That would have been nice to have a line dropped for that.
I know.
You know,
I was waiting for that, but like during the funeral scene or something.
Yeah, just anywhere. You know, just Halliday brought the 80s back. Just anything,
that's exactly what the book says. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I wasn't confused about the time. It's made very clear that it's in the future.
Yeah.
They say the years many times, but it just it would have been nice to know that he brought this 80s culture.
Yeah,
back.
that's what because I only knew that because I read the book. If you haven't read the book, you wouldn't know that, and that's a really big thing.
Yeah.
Because the IOI Industries, all those like scientists or whatever that are researching the 80s.
Yeah.
That must be confusing if you haven't read the book, because you're like, well, why is everyone obsessed with the 80s?
Yeah.
They should have explained that more.
What I thought it was that, fashion is cyclical. So I thought the 80s came back.
Yeah, no.
Just on its own.
It's totally because of Halliday's death.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because everyone would have been playing that game.
Yeah,
obviously.
Literally everyone.
Yeah.
Because $500 billion at stake.
Yeah.
This was something I nitpicked at first, but then I realized it's fine. In the first trial is a race, I guess. And I remember when it first got to that, I looked over to you and I was like, what the hell? Because, I hate...
You don't like car races.
I hate car chases.
What do you think about that one, though?
I thought it was actually fine. I thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. We have...
It wasn't cliche.
King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like how they actually did the Easter egg where he figured out how to go backwards because you're like underneath all the action. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
So
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you'll notice in that first car chase scene, there's only like 50 people racing, but everyone in the world will be playing. But then I realized they have copies of different worlds.
Yeah,
so anyone can play on different copies of different worlds, so it's fine.
Yeah. Speaking to that, just in comparison, we watched Tomb Raider a few weeks ago, and the puzzles in that movie are terrible. They're
not even puzzles.
I know.
Really.
The Cradle of Life, yellow and blue make green. But in this movie, I thought that they were all pretty good.
Not as good as the book because I was expecting. Yeah. But at least they had something.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they had something.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, in the book, it talks way more about school, but in this, there's nothing about school.
Yeah, I remember that now that you mention it. There was a lot of stuff about the school in the book. There was just, he tried to trick Nolan.
Yeah.
With the Faber College, the Animal House stuff, and Fast Times. With the trivia. Mm-hmm. That was pretty much the only mention of school. Because in the book, don't they go to school in the Oasis too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they start the book he's at school and then he graduates.
Yeah. I wonder how old that actor is though.
The guy that plays Wade Watts?
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's in high school.
No. But I mean, Hollywood never does it anyway.
Yeah. Olivia Cooke is in this. I just saw her in Thoroughbreds. Took me a second to recognize her. I did not recognize her voice. Well,
he's 21.
We have the same birthday.
Oh, really?
November 11th.
Huh.
Yeah. So 21's not too bad,
Yeah.
In his IMDb resume, it said most recently he was seen in Bryan Singer's highly anticipated film X-Men Apocalypse. I don't think anyone was highly anticipating that movie.
Wow.
The whole cast is pretty good. I did want to talk about T.J. Miller.
Oh yeah, he was a surprise.
Because he's having some issues.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was surprised that he was even in it because you never saw his face. So they easily could have just dubbed in another actor. Yeah. But I guess Spielberg just decided to stick with him. He's having some bad problems right now with the Me Too movement. So he was surprising. And Ben Mendelsohn from Rogue One fame.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's the mustache-twirling villain.
Yep.
And then, her name is Lena Waithe. I know her from Master of None. She's really good on that show. Uh-huh. Have you watched that show?
No.
With Aziz Ansari?
I've heard good things about it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. They won a writing Emmy together for the show. So And I knew that was a woman, H.
Yeah,
it was pretty
it's
clear.
in the book.
Yeah. But I didn't know that was her, so she was a surprise. She's always fun to see.
I was actually expecting the character to be fatter, because in the book it's described as a fat black woman.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they just decided to do something different.
She's a little chubby, though.
Well, I mean, in the book, she's like obese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that, but.
Going back to that whole 80s thing, or the whole challenge itself, you know how they're called Gunters?
Okay.
That's like not even described that much in the movie. Like this whole the holiday challenge starts this whole community called Gunters, these egg hunters, you know. And they have clans together, and and their whole lives are dedicated to researching 80s trivia.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because they keep talking about how, like, Wade Watts says, oh, I don't join a clan, you know, I go solo. But then they form up, and they're called the High Five, but you only hear that at the end of the movie.
Right.
In the book, it's more described.
I guess it's just because it's already a long movie.
Yeah.
You know, they had to make a lot of cuts.
Strapped for time, I guess.
Yeah. The movie's doing pretty well, so we may have a sequel. Maybe they can delve more into that. I would definitely be up for a sequel.
Yeah.
As long as they, you know, well, they'd have to do something different. There's not going to be another puzzle like this.
Yeah.
So.
I don't even know how they'd do that. Maybe it's set even farther in the future and Wade Watts dies or something.
Maybe. Could be, yeah. All right, I think that'll do it for our in-depth discussion of Ready Player One. Definitely both recommended it. Go see it. I would have paid to see this movie even without MoviePass, just because, you know, it's one of those big movies of the year where, like I said, whether you're looking forward to it or not, whatever, everyone's talking about it. So, you know, I'm kind of known as the movie / Star Wars guy at the office. So there's going to be a couple people coming to my cubicle on Monday asking me if I saw Ready Player One. Of course I did, but
yeah.
And I'm going to be talking about this movie probably for the next coming weeks. So how many movies are you up to? I
am up to 15.
All right. I watched 2 movies today.
Which is a crazy statement.
Yeah. And I'm up to 27. So, and actually I saw 12 movies in the month of March. So I'm back on track.
Jeez.
I fell behind a little bit.
I'm still behind.
Yeah. Well, but like we said before, you know, you're exactly on pace for 60 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. How many movies do normal people watch?
Yeah, that's like new in-theaters movies.
That's more than
Maybe like 10 a year.
Yeah, that's more than one a week. You know? Yeah. And you did buy some concessions today.
Yeah, I don't remember what I paid. I think I paid around like $8. I don't know.
Okay, I spent a lot. I spent like $15. Oh, I did want to mention I tried the new Cheetos popcorn at Regal. Awesome.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It only comes in one size, but it was good enough for me. I didn't even eat the whole thing, but I ate a lot.
Yeah.
It was good, and they had just made it fresh for me, so that was good. I didn't really want to. I saw some stale ones back there that I really didn't want to try, but they made some fresh for me,
cool.
So that was good. Yeah, I would definitely recommend getting that. And so there's 2 big releases next week.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I'm kind of dreading, although I do want to watch it. A Quiet Place. It looks really scary.
Yeah. I think it's going to be jump scary.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I hate.
I know. I'm not a big fan of that either.
Actually, we had a jump scare in Ready Player One. Or I did during the Shining scene.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate them.
You jumped quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's not just jump scares. It's just anticipation.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie is getting so much buzz, though.
Yeah.
It premiered at South by Southwest. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it's going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to have to watch it. I am kind of intrigued. You know, at first we thought it might be connected to the Cloverfield thing. Doesn't look like it now, which is good.
Yeah.
It's like different monsters.
Yeah. At first I was kind of excited, like, oh boy, more Cloverfield universe. But you know what? Maybe we should just have it be original.
Yeah. I honestly don't think it is. You know, you can kind of see the creatures a little bit in the new trailer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh boy.
And then also Blockers, which looks funny. So
yeah.
I got a dreadfully scary movie coming out.
Dreadfully.
Well, hopefully it's funny. That's.
I don't know. It looks to me.
That premiered at South by Southwest with high Rotten Tomatoes score too.
God, really?
It does.
I don't know.
I think it looks. Oh well, I don't know. I mean, I can get past that.
Well, I mean, I like John Cena as a personality, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't care for these comedy, quote unquote, comedy movies.
Oh yeah. Well, comedy's my jam.
Well, I mean, I like classics like Tommy Boy and.
See, it's 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's pretty high.
Is bizarre.
With 45 reviews.
It looks terrible. Oh, you know why it looks terrible? It's because it has teenagers in it.
Okay.
And Hollywood doesn't understand a damn thing about teenagers.
You really think it looks terrible? I think it looks really fun.
God, watch that trailer again. I don't know.
I've seen the trailer many times. I've been to 27 movies. I've seen the trailer many times.
I'm not looking forward to it. But I am looking forward to Isle of Dogs, which apparently is supposed to get a wide release soon in April.
Yeah, mid-April. Well, technically it should be the next week after. So
okay.
We'll see. But I'm just, like, I don't think... Okay, I understand. Like, we've talked about this before. The first 15 minutes of Jumanji... virtually unwatchable.
Yeah.
But I think that in this movie, the parents are going to be the focus. You know, you're going to see some of the kids.
Well, yeah, they will be the focus, but I don't know.
So I think they're going to be like the heavy focus, you know, because they're the ones reading their texts and all that stuff. So I don't think that...
Well, that's the other thing that worried me is those texts.
Yeah.
God, people don't talk like that. That's not how teenagers talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, Chappaquiddick's opening too. I might watch that. You know what? That's the biopic of Ted Kennedy supposedly killing that girl. Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't look that great, but I don't really know much about that story, so I'm interested to see how they do it. I do like that actor too, who's playing him, Jason Clarke.
Okay.
The guy that everyone knows his face, but he's in like every movie.
I don't even know what his face looks like.
Okay.
I can't even put the name to it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Quiet Place.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Right.
That reminds me of a story about... Norm Macdonald told a story about some talk show where this lady introduced the next guest, and he came out and she was like, "Oh, I know who he is."
Yeah.
Like on the show. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. He was in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes, yeah. I know him best from Zero Dark 30.
Oh, yeah, he was.
That was kind of his first big role. You got anything else?
No. I think that about does it.
All right, you can find us all over the... Oh, damn it. I always forget things. I'm actually going to be a guest on 2 podcasts this week, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. When we first started this podcast, I honestly didn't even think about having guests or being a guest on somebody's podcast.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in my realm. But I tweeted out a request to see if any other podcasts wanted to trade podcast ads. And a couple of podcasts reached out to us and said, "Do you want to be on our show?" I'm like, okay. Unfortunately, with your schedule, you won't be able to do it. Maybe later we can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be on the I Seen That podcast. We're going to be reviewing Clue, which is awesome. I love that movie. And
Me too.
They said that's probably going to be released in a couple weeks. So their release schedule is a few weeks after recording. I'll just tweet out and Facebook and all that crap when that episode comes out. I'm also going to be on the Delvin Cox Experience. That seems like a kind of interesting podcast to be on. So yeah, he talks about politics sometimes. We have a no politics rule. No politics, no religion, nothing that gets people riled up.
Yeah.
So, but we're just gonna be talking about other things. So yeah, so I will tweet out, Facebook, whatever, those links when those podcasts drop, and I'm kind of excited because I don't know why anyone wants to talk to me about anything. But maybe this will lead us to, maybe we can have a guest on our podcast sometime. So yeah, I think that'll do it. You can find us on Twitter at the MoviePass Pod, Facebook, facebook.com/the MoviePass Pod, iTunes, we have a YouTube page, we're on Google Play Podcast, we're on Stitcher, we both have Letterboxd accounts, letterboxd.com/KeithNH72 or letterboxd.com/NoJoSwag, NOJOW or SWAG. We have a WordPress site, and our official site is themoviepasspod.podbean.com. And that's going to do it. Spotify has still not approved us yet, you bastards. And thanks for listening.
Goodbye.